Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Rhonda Farrell bringing you Spotlight on What's Next, week one of 2026. And today we are moving from momentum to meaningful advantage. Last year was about success. This year is all about what comes next. For solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, and business leaders, 2026 isn't a reset, it's a reckoning with momentum. You didn't just survive last year, you learned, you adapted, you built gaps and gains. Now the question is simple. Are you going to capitalize on what you've learned, or are you going to repeat it? What's different about Spotlight on What's Next? Well, this series is for leaders who are done chasing definitions of success that no longer fit. So in 2026, we focus on strategic clarity over constant motion, intelligent innovation over noisy experimentation, durable advantage over short-term wins. This is about designing the next chapter, not reacting to it. So ask yourself as you go into 2026, on a scale of 1 to 10, how effectively did you capitalize on last year's momentum? And how intentional is your direction for what's next? If the answer isn't where you want it to be, well, you're exactly in the right place and where this series begins. We are truly setting the frame for 2026. Most people enter a new year asking, what should I do next? But that's really not the question that serious leaders are wrestling with right now. The real question is quieter and much more uncomfortable. It's, what did last year actually give me? Not emotionally only, not aspirationally only, but structurally. Because 2025 didn't just produce outcomes, it produced patterns. Patterns in how you made decisions, patterns in where energy flowed or leaked, patterns in what created momentum and what quietly stole it. And here's the thing that most people miss. If you don't consciously harvest those patterns, they don't disappear. They repeat. In 2026, the advantage doesn't go to the busiest founder, the loudest leader, or the fastest adopter of the next tool. It goes to the one who understands sequence, who knows what to carry forward, what to stabilize, and what to deliberately leave behind. Because momentum without intention is just motion with better branding. This series, Spotlight on What's Next 2026, exists for leaders who sense that shift. They're not trying to prove you can work hard. They're not chasing validation through volume. You and they are asking better questions now. Questions like, where am I already ahead and failing to capitalize on that momentum? What worked last year, but at a cost I'm no longer willing to pay? And what would innovation look like if it served clarity instead of distraction? These are second order questions. They signal maturity. And here's what I want to name clearly at the start of this year. Innovation in 2026 is not about more ideas. It's about directional confidence. It's about resisting the urge to rush forward before you've extracted the value already earned. Because the leaders who win this year aren't reinventing everything, they're compounding. So week one is not about setting goals. It's about positioning yourself to choose well when opportunity shows up, to recognize what aligns and what doesn't without needing external permission. That's the work of this series, not reacting to what's next, but designing your relationship to it. So, what is week one all about? It's about harvesting value from last year before you race ahead. So, in this week one, we focus on three things: closing the gap, understanding what worked but wasn't optimized, what drained energy without delivering returns. Secondly, we want to lock in the advantage. What gave you momentum in 2025 that others don't yet see? And what could compound if you protected it moving forward into 2026? And lastly, we want you to innovate forward on purpose with passion. No more ideas, no more tools, but seeking to give yourself and your organizations and your teams a better direction. So in 2026, innovation is not just about the speed at which we move. It's ultimately about the sequence of steps that we choose. So, a question that may help you anchor in your 2026 year strong is, before you finish planning your year 2026 and or your longer term future, ask yourself, what from last year deserves to be carried forward? And maybe more importantly, what must not? That question will or should shape every decision you make next. What we're hoping is that you find yourself feeling less frantic and more discerning this year. That's not hesitation, that's growth. And that is exactly where Spotlight on What's Next focuses on all year long. Again, this is Dr. Rhonda Farrell, the CEO of Global Innovation Strategies, bringing you week one of Spotlight on What's Next 2026.